Well, hello, we're live again. This is the RCN Show. I'm Stephen for a reason, and this is Doing Well with Michelle. I'm glad I can see you today, Michelle.
I know it was like crazy last week. Was or last Tuesday was like crazy. I wasn't able to be seen, but here I am today.
Yeah, well, great to have you, and I'm really happy I can see you. As I mentioned, this is the RCN Show, standing for the Realtors Choice Network. Today is August the 7th, 2023. Things are starting to get cooler around here, and that just means it's fall, and fall can be a tremendous time depending on what business you have. And, I like to change the seasons. How about you, Michelle?
I do. However, where I live, there's only two seasons: hot and cold.
Well, here there's winter and construction. So, anyways, I get that for sure. All right. So, as always, I'm thrilled to talk about our sponsor, George Tremis of GT Realty Group. And last Tuesday, I showed you this fancy picture of the fireside and wine because he's going to be having a fireside chat coming up soon, and it's booked. All right. So, as you know, we do our show every Tuesday and Thursday. Well, we're booked up for the month of September. But rather than doing a show on the 28th, we're actually going to do, Michelle, the fireside chat live on Zoom, okay, with George. George is going to be the host, the speaker. It's a George Tremis show, if you will, a GT show. It's called Fireside Chat, and it's going to be on September the 27th, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Can't wait.
Yeah, that's going to be a gooder. I can't wait for it as well. If you're aware or not, or if you're receiving the emails in our communications, we literally reach out to over 20,000 people every single week. And you can be rest assured the Fireside Chat will be coming out to you very soon. A breakdown of the topics of conversation, its purpose, and everything about it. And again, I feel blessed partners and working with George on a weekly and daily schedule, and just thrilled about his Fireside Chat. So thank you, George. All right. Again, our big announcements, and this one's getting bigger and bigger every time I put this up here. The Realtors Choice Network.com, our major network website, is on its final stages and touches of being revamped, and I can't wait. The Canadian section of this website is what we started off with first. We have 18 cities in Canada that we service. And man, oh man, the amount of businesses, our business members, Michelle, in this new section of our website is overwhelming. And again, we have right now, I always keep saying 140,000 businesses. They're going up daily. So I can't guarantee it's 140,000. I think it's probably closer to 150 now. And over 80,000 realtor members as well in our network, servicing 142 cities, as you know. So now we've got this Canadian division and this incredible upgrade done to our website. It goes live in 2 days. Now we're working on the American one. And as you can tell, man, we have over 120 cities in the States we service. Wait till you see all these business members. It's incredible, and I am honored and blessed to be able to share that. Okay, so we're offering a premium membership coming up soon. And there's our real Stacy. She's coming back to the show soon, Michelle. I haven't told you that yet, but she's going to be joining us as a guest and co-hosting, doing her thing soon again. And this is just a bit of an example of what the premium membership is going to be for our members. For $7 a month, we're going to create a premium membership like Stacy's, where we're having your social media links hyperlinked, and we're also giving complimentary SEO for our premium members to be able to stand out, get noticed, and become, recognized as the leaders in their industry. Literally, pick a city, pick your industry, and away you go. We're going to take care of that for you. Again, that's $7 a month, and it's something that's literally just a true feather in our cap. And our members are really going to stand out when they do this. So again, that's the updates. Again, how of our show, how our network, how our talk to the experts, how does this all come together? We are live. We're live right now on Facebook, our Facebook group, the Realtors Choice Network group on Facebook, my personal Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. And it's going very well. As you know, we're getting about 400 to 500 views per show, Michelle. And then when we're completed, We're also ripping the audio, and it's played on Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox, Anchor, and Google Podcasts. So that's kind of how it all comes together. Here's the most important part, our guest. And today's guest, Michelle, is a very special individual. The reason why I say special is because I've been going to some of our key influencers in our organization's social media, and I go into their friends, and I reach out to these people. And our guest today is Chris Fenton, and he's a broker at LePage, Port Alberni-Pacific Rim Realty. And he also has a sub-brokerage, and I hope I'm wording this correctly, called loyalhomes.ca within the brokerage. So it's a brokerage inside of the brokerage, but there's a couple very special differences, and I can't wait to hear all about it. So no further ado, let's bring Chris on. Hi, Chris. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Hi, Chris.
Amazing. So, Chris, I'm sorry. I'm going to start making notes. I have a tendency of doing that a lot when I'm having this conversation, so I can sort of keep everything going. Tell me, how long have you been a realtor for?
I'm pushing 20 years now.
20 years. And did you do anything before you became a realtor?
Yeah, I went to high school.
All right. Well, you're aging me then, I guess. That's amazing. So you, straight out of high school, you became a realtor. Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much within a couple of years. That's right.
Okay. So how long were you a realtor before you became a broker?
So we only set up the brokerages. I bought the LePage into the LePage brokerage just a few years ago. So just a regular realtor up until that point.
Okay. And do you have any special designations or specialties that you offer as a realtor to your clients?
I mean, no, we do a little bit of everything. I have a degree in business from UVic, so we can help with commercial and that sort of thing in a reasonably well way for sure.
Okay. What about like, are you a senior citizen specialist, a relocation specialist, anything like that?
No, I certainly help all those people, but I don't have any designations like that. No.
Okay. And any other languages that you can offer your services in?
No.
Okay.
I wish. I wish.
Tell me, whereabouts is Port Alberni located?
So we are central Vancouver Island on the very, very west coast, right in the middle of the island.
Okay. Amazing. And so Vancouver Island, is Vancouver the city on the island as well?
No, so Vancouver's on the mainland, and then we're like a 400 and some odd kilometer long island off the coast of Vancouver.
Amazing. And how many people roughly live in that area?
Close to 1 million,
Wow.
spread out over 10 cities or so.
Awesome. And so out of those 10 cities, are you able to help people in all of those cities, or are you specifically to one city or more?
So our brokerage really works in the Port Alberni area. We do some work in Ucluelet, Tofino, Parksville, Follicum, but we're really in the central island. But our Loyal Homes project is province-wide, so we help people online throughout the whole province of BC.
Sure. And do you find that happens more often than not nowadays, where people are approaching you online, working with you on an online as compared to face-to-face?
Yeah, and that's why we went and launched the project about 2 years ago. Is we are definitely, I've noticed, like, I started before the internet was even important to real estate, so I've noticed that people are going online much sooner in the process and running into realtors long before they drive into the city to view houses these days. Okay.
And so I'm just going to pull this up. That is the Fenton Group, the brokerage within the brokerage you're referring to, right? What you set up, the lead generator, is that it?
The Fenton Group is the brokerage, and then loyalhomes.ca is our platform, is our website platform.
Okay. Now, I read about the lead generation, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't get a chance to spend too much time on it, but you have your own program for lead gen, is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. So we're right now we're generating close to 1,000 leads a month all over the province, primarily in certain areas. We have about 25,000 people in our database currently searching for real estate right now.
Really? So how does that work in database? I'm just marking this down again. So you have 25,000 people in your database. Is that like a CRM system, or how do you get those 25,000 people, or how did you get those people?
Yeah, so that's through the website loyalhomes.ca. That's the value we provide people, is we provided a real estate website that doesn't just have listings, but it has information about every community and every neighborhood in the entire province. So we're attracting people that way. When they sign up on the site, it does get shot over to our CRM, and that's how our inside salespeople manage that kind of massive volume of people searching online.
Wow. Now, is that kind of like a Remax platform or a CRM that's corporate, or is this like a separate CRM system that you're working with?
Yeah, so we're actually working on the Sierra Interactive program, which has nothing to do with any real estate corporation. They're a company down in the States. We worked with a few of them. We worked on a few platforms, and it's the one we finally settled on for loyalhomes.ca.
Amazing. So you said that's CRA?
Sierra Interactive.
Sierra. The reason why I ask, and because I'm interested, is I have to figure out which is the best CRM for us as well. Everything that we've built to date, Chris, I've done longhand, I've done on Word formats, and I've done in Google Documents. And keeping the businesses, the people, the contacts, the services all organized, you can see why I'm going bald, eh?
And we also use Follow Up Boss. Follow Up Boss is another CRM that our inside salespeople work directly in, and Follow Up Boss is kind of the gold standard in real estate CRMs.
It is, eh? Real estate CRMs. Boy, it's amazing when we have these conversations with people. It's like you learn something new every day, and I love it. So I got to ask the question: why real estate? Why was that your thing coming out of high school?
The honest truth is, my mom was a realtor since I was knee high. So
oh yeah.
I went to school. I went out of high school. I went to university for a year for computer programming, and I quickly decided I didn't want to be behind a desk. So I came back and I kind of fell into this, and then fell in love with it, and I've spent the rest of my life doing it.
Amazing. Do you do any real estate investing on your own?
Yeah. Not on a huge scale. We're focused more on other investments, but we certainly have over the years, for sure.
Cool. You know, I was talking to we were talking to Kenneth Toppin, and he is a top 1% agent with Remax out of Toronto. And you know, before he got started, he was working for Rogers, if I'm not mistaken. He loved the technology side of things. This was before, you know, smartphones and everything else. And, you know, his business sort of evolved around it. While he was working for Rogers, he started to invest in real estate. He fell in love with it. He fell in love with technology. And that's the reason why I like to ask these questions, because it sort of gives you a little bit of an indication as to why you are, you know, Chris Fenton, and why you do what you do. So was your mom a broker as well?
She was a real estate agent. She worked independently on her own for many, many years. And then we teamed up when I got into the business, and she still works with us.
Really?
Yeah.
So she's still part of your team?
Yeah, she's in her 60s, and she's one of the top agents in our city.
I love that. That is incredible. So how do you keep her motivated, or does she keep you motivated?
Yeah, she doesn't need any motivation from me. She's an incredible woman, for sure.
You know, what I've learned from realtors, ones I work with, our partners and things like that, this industry is so based on relationships. And once you're a client for life, that sort of mindset. I bet you she has, over the years, a massive amount of those 25,000 leads as part of her experience, right?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. People call back for her all the time. She's still dealing with people she sold houses to 25 years ago.
And is she still busy? Is she still active? Like,
extremely, yeah.
Yeah, wow. So there's that true natural passion in that, that drives you all.
Yeah, she's a pure customer service salesperson, like awesome. Through and through.
Okay, so you have any other family members in your team?
My sister actually just joined us after she joined us in the last year, and she came over from a background in social work. Okay. She was the executive director of a nonprofit that had about 80 people working there. So she's joined us because of the Loyal Homes project. She's coming in to help us scale that project across the province. Really?
These are great stories. Michelle, what do you got? You got any questions?
You know, I this is the first thing that comes to my mind, especially when you mentioned your mom and now you mentioned your sister.
Yeah.
I'm sure what's attractive to what you do is you're like family. So when someone comes in, they feel like family. So of course they're going to keep calling on you, right? That's all part of that relationship, and I really commend you for what you do, because it takes a lot for people to get their family involved in things like that, for sure.
So it's not without its struggles, for sure, but you're right. There's a family atmosphere too. As our group grew, there's still a family atmosphere here, for sure.
I love it. Like, look at the Fenton Group, right? So that doesn't tell you everything. That's a family group. Beyond expectations, you can reach them at 250-723-8786. the FentonGroup.ca, and LoyalHomes.ca. Vancouver Island Real Estate. So you guys have a podcast. Tell me about that.
No, that's our advertisement for being here today.
Oh, well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, our marketing director put that together this morning and put that up.
Amazing. So tell me about your marketing program. What does that look like? How do you guys market your services, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we have a dedicated marketing person. We do a lot of what we do, of course, is online based. So we're huge in SEO, huge in Google, pay-per-click. Social media is important for sure. Social media ads. We don't do a lot of traditional marketing anymore. We used to spend a lot of money. I remember when we made the decision, we spent a lot of money on newspaper. It was actually our largest budget item for single line. And it was scary to pull the plug on that. But when we did, we noticed no major decrease. So we're almost purely digital.
Amazing. You see, that's literally the concept and why we built the Realtor's Choice Network is exactly for that. Like, the world evolves, and you either live in the old times, live in the future, or you live in the present. And I think the present right now, and I always tell Michelle that we're building a better tomorrow today. And it kind of sounds to me like you guys realize that at the right time. The social media, it's so expensive depending on how you go about it. So you either have like your organic audience, or you're paying pretty hefty for paid advertisements. Do you guys generally invest more on the SEO side of things, or do you guys do paid advertisements, or a balance of both, would you say, Chris?
We're way more heavily invested in SEO, but we do paid Instagram, Facebook ads, and pay-per-click ads, but way more heavily in the SEO.
You see, I find that really interesting. Again, as I just mentioned in our announcement, we just did a huge upgrade to our website, and I'm talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of businesses who are members of our network. And I always tell them, I'm like, look, why wouldn't you want to be a premium member with us? Because we're tying you into our SEO. We're investing heavy in SEO as well, right? And when you're a network or you're a part of a large corporation, that SEO is priceless. And it's such an expensive service for companies. But it works. You know, it's funny when you go Google search real estate. And I do it in Winnipeg all the time, right? #1 realtor in Winnipeg. And these people come up and they've only been in real estate for like 3 or 4 years. How's that possible? You know? So there's a lot of value to SEO and that social media outreach. Do you guys do anything else for marketing your services? Do you have a charity of choice?
Yeah, we certainly do. We're heavily involved with the local women's shelter and also through the LePage Shelter Foundation. So I sat on the board of directors for that charity, local charity, for several years. And then I think the other kind of pillar of our marketing is just all that past client stuff. Staying in touch with our past clients, providing value to them, keeping in touch with them.
Amazing. That Shelter Foundation is a pretty big deal, eh?
Yeah, it really is. It's a pretty cool thing.
So if I'm not mistaken, the Shelter Foundation primarily is there to help women from abusive relations. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. Anybody that's been a victim of intimate partner violence. I went on a trek with them. That's how I started out with LePage Shelter Foundation. We did a trek for charity through the Sahara Desert for 100 kilometers, and it was a real eye-opener. We stopped at lunch, and they read victim impact statements to us. And once you kind of heard that, because I haven't had that much direct experience with it, it's hard not to get involved.
Wow. Well, I commend you on that. What about anything? Do you sponsor golf tournaments? Do you do anything like that?
Not really, no.
Good for you. I say good for you because you're obviously doing well enough that you don't need to. A lot of people do that just for that exposure and extra marketing and things, but it sounds to me like you're doing great. And okay, so I want to go back to your other page and your other website, the Port Alberni-Pacific Rim Realty is what I'm going to now. Now, tell me about that. How many agents are in that brokerage?
In total, we're a small brokerage. We're probably about 20 agents.
20 agents. Okay, that's still quite a few. I don't know about the different sizes of the Royal LePage offices, but that's still quite a few. Now, with it being of that size, I bet you got probably a pretty strong relationship with almost all of your members, eh?
Yeah, you certainly get to know everybody for sure. For sure.
Awesome. What do you think makes your brokerage different than other brokerages in the same area, do you think?
I think it's the family thing again. Even though we're not all related, we have a very much a family atmosphere here, and everybody that works here sort of has the highest level of integrity in the business, cares. It's just a really good vibe, and I think that pays dividends for everybody.
You know, I love hearing that. Michelle, what do you think? How do you feel about when you hear the words family coming into play here?
I think that's really important because nowadays, you want to keep your family together. You want to spend more time with your family. And what better way to do it than something that you love?
I agree. And I like it because when I'm hearing it, I'm going to say 9 times probably out of 10, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but a lot of your clients would be families as compared to single people, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely a huge part of it for sure.
Awesome. That's just awesome. Speaking of families, do you have any children?
I do. I am father of a 11-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Wow. So you're a pretty young guy, eh? Like you came straight out of high school. You've got young children. You're a brokerage owner. How long do you see yourself staying in this industry for?
I can't imagine retiring, to be honest with you.
I love that.
I'm have a really good work-life balance. I just did the West Coast Trail with my kids. We hiked 80 kilometers with backpacks on, and we camp. Like we do stuff like that all the time, and I'm blessed to be able to do that. I'm not a realtor that works 60 or 80 hours a week. It's 40 hours a week for me. So yeah, I couldn't imagine.
I've spoken with other brokers clearly for quite some time, and one in particular really stands out. I went ice fishing with him just this last winter, and I love fishing, and I know people like to golf and do business, but I love fishing and just being able to hang out with some people. You really get to know some things, and I'm just going to say he's in his 60s roughly. He's been in real estate for so long, and he said the same thing. He's like, you know what, Stephen, I'm never retiring. I may do less, and I may not put up with the same amount of BS I used to. He goes, but I'm never going to stop being a realtor. I just love it. So I think I can relate to what you're saying there, and I think that's very special.
Yeah, one of my early business partners was 86 when he retired from real estate. So he was the first one in the office, last one to leave every day.
Yeah.
It was just love at that point. He didn't need to be doing it.
Amazing. Is there any other key partners or businesses that you work with in Port Alberni that you think needs to be recognized as well?
Oh man. Just there's lots of key partners we work with: building inspectors, mortgage brokers. I don't know if there's anybody I would single out.
Well, the reason why I ask is because we were speaking with Michelle Goodridge on Tuesday. I'm not sure if you caught that episode or not, but so she is a former corporate RE/MAX executive, and she was for like 20 something years, for quite a while. And then she said, that's it. She sold all of her assets off, and she started a program called Real. And this is a real estate network to support women in the real estate business primarily. Very special woman, very connected. Absolutely loved my experience chatting with her this week and meeting her, honestly, for the first time. And now I see a strong networking and working relationship because of that experience. But the point I'm making, we found in that conversation that trusted teams of support are key to the realtor's business, right? And I don't know, I connected the dots, and I'm like, Michelle, we're talking about a trusted team here to benefit your members. And that's kind of what you sort of talked about. You have key people, those building inspectors, probably photographers, cleaners, and all these different supporting businesses. Have you been working with the team of those supporting businesses for some time, or do you go through companies like that on a regular basis?
I think we're open to working with a lot of people. So we don't really work with one mortgage person or one building inspector. We
Yep.
always want to work with the best of the best, and that sort of changes with time and new people come in. I think you're right, though. I think that no business works in isolation. I mean, the overall business community here in our community, we're so involved in. We do all kinds of videos and stuff highlighting all these businesses, and they refer business to us and we refer business to them. It's critical, right?
That's awesome. I love hearing that. And I always tell people, look at a referral is the number one compliment you could give anyone in business, right? And I also firmly believe that if you're going to refer someone to your business, that I, as a referrer, would be partly responsible at the end of the day. So I'm not just going to refer somebody just because. I want to make sure that, my name is behind it, and I feel really good about sharing that referral. So anyone in the Port Alberni area, I now hereby say I highly recommend and would refer Chris Fenton from having this conversation with you.
Absolutely.
So, okay, let's get things going here. Again, I appreciate your time and your interest, and you're willing to come on the show, Chris. Is there anything you want to leave with our viewers today from today's conversation?
No, I think you covered a lot of it. I think it was fantastic. It's been a pleasure to be here and talk to you both. And yeah, thank you.
My pleasure. I look forward to staying in touch with you, growing our businesses collectively, and I guarantee you're going to hear from us in the very near future. Thanks again, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Well, you know what? These special people, Michelle, I can't get over it. Every single time we have guests on here, there's always something new. I loved his tribute to his mom and to his sister, right?
Amazing, really amazing.
And then did you hear them talking about the Shelter Foundation and raising money and working towards bettering women from abusive relationships? I think we better contact Michelle Goodrich and say, hey, Michelle, I know your real program is dedicated and guided for women in the real estate business, but here's another guy who's making a huge difference in his local community. I love it.
Stephen, this is what I hope people gather from what we do is we're not creating competition. We're creating networks. Like anybody in the United States, they want to move to where's he from? I don't know the names.
Alberni, Port Alberni, BC.
Right. If somebody from the United States wants to move there, we know who they can contact now.
Absolutely.
And get them together. And that's what this show is all about. We're about networking, helping people get from point A to point B. Maybe they need a C, D, and E, but they know where to get it now. So that's really amazing.
Absolutely. And you know what? I've got the month filled out with Canadians. Where are the Americans? And I want us to be getting some American talent and personality on the show as well. So we had that chat earlier this morning on Team Thrive, Michelle, if you recall. And some of your members are talking about their approach and their targets being mortgage brokers and realtors. Please remind your team, if they run into any outstanding individuals from those industries, tell us. We'd love to have them as guests.
I mentioned one yesterday, and the guy is really huge in this area. He's got a humongous team. Like his team is growing all the time, so he must be doing something right?
Yeah.
For his team to continue to grow, and I'm kind of attracted to that type of person, that's a recruiter, and I want to get some insight on what he does.
For sure. So I know I'm reaching out on a daily basis. There's only so much that I can do. I also wanted to share. I'm not digging the sales. I've learned that the salespeople should be salespeople, and Stephen for a reason should be Stephen for a reason. So you're going to hear anybody who's on our network, buyer beware. You're probably going to hear from my son Carter. Right. He's doing some dialing for dollars. He even came in and he's like, "That's 2 today, Dad." So I'm excited to have my family with us as well. Our business partners are family as well. And you know what? It's guys like Chris. This guy's a family guy. His family works for him. Like, that's cool, man.
And it all started with his mom when he was a little child. I mean, like, man.
Right.
That's an amazing story. And that story should be published and talked about, because that's what's going to lead someone else to want to do the same thing in the future.
Absolutely. I love it. I like the fact that he's got a bit of a smaller team, a little bit more intimate and family driven. Amazing. I like the fact that they're self-generating 1,000 leads per month. I don't know if you caught that or not, but that is huge. Right? So good on them for that. very, very interesting that he was able to comfortably talk about those numbers. If I can have 1,000 leads per month, I don't think I'd still be working.
Well, there's lots of ways that you could do it for sure, but you'd have to put in manually. You're definitely going to have to put in the hours. And
Yeah.
I'm afraid that it's going to be more than 20 hours or 40 hours a week. But the other thing that I like about Chris is he said, you asked him, what'd you do before your real estate? In real estate, he was in high school. For someone to come straight out of high school and go
Straight into it.
and make this his passion and the love of his life is an amazing story as well.
It was a good story. It also made me age very quickly, like I say, because I got into this way after high school. I can promise you that. And I think that has something to do with Mom and his life and his role. And I love that story and part of it. Also, I love the fact that he's an investor in real estate. So I want to now publicly announce that we are also looking to have property managers as guests on our show. I know firsthand from talking with many realtors and brokers alike that property managers are needed. And so I'm looking forward to that. As a matter of fact, I'm booking one now. A very, very influential person in the property manager world for October 30th, the night before Halloween, Michelle. What do they call that in the States, the night before Halloween?
I don't know if they call it anything.
Really? Oh, there used to be names here, Gate Night and all these other things. And spooky times that Halloween period of time is. And I know this woman is not spooky at all. I can't wait to actually have her.
Well, Halloween here, it's for the most part, it's best to stay inside because a lot of crazy stuff goes on. Not to bring fear, but it's just not safe like it used to be when we were kids growing up and going to Halloween, right?
Well, sorry you live in California and have that experience. I would want all of our kids to get out there and have fun and fill up their pillowcases full of candy. Well, wait a second. No, I'm diabetic now, so I don't advise the pillowcases. Go for the small buckets.
Yeah, it's just not like that anymore.
It's not, eh?
In California, certain cities you go to, you go out in the daytime. You don't go wait till dark to go out because it's just not safe anymore.
You know what? It's funny you say that. Now that I think about it, my sister used to live in Minnesota. And this is going back a number of years, so I'm really thinking hard and trying to remember this. But I do remember us going to the shopping malls and having my nieces running around in their costumes in a shopping mall, trick-or-treating in a big, big mall.
That's much safer.
I bet you that's probably why they did that down there, come to think of it, eh?
Yeah, it's much better to take your kids out in the daytime, before it gets dark. You can go to, and people don't just go to any random house anymore. It's more they just go to their friend's house and that's it. Well,
I'm glad to say where we live, we encourage our kids to get out in the street, go door to door and say trick or treat. But we'll leave it at that. I appreciate you sharing that with me. And again, it's all about sharing knowledge and experience and where you live. And that's what life's about is understanding that. I never would have guessed, but I guess it makes sense, and probably a lot of the other larger, big cities, I guess it's very similar there too. I just live in a very relatively small city here in Winnipeg, and we don't have those problems, thankfully. But
right. What they do here really is they have churches. They make that night for kids to go there. They roast hot dogs. They roast marshmallows. They sing songs and just maybe have some games there to keep the kids off the streets because it's not a safe place. It's really not. I'm not trying to put any type of fear out there because I don't believe in the fear factor. But, it's good always to know and be safe no matter where you are.
Absolutely. And you know what? You're right. This day and age, things are evolving and changing all the time. I get you. So anyways, that being said, on October 30th, I do have a very, very important person coming on as a guest in the property management world. Now, did I ever mention no, I'm going to save it. We've got incredible guests coming up. I can't wait for next week's. But what I was going to say, though, Michelle, is every week prior to these shows, we are sharing with everyone the upcoming guests. So that being said, I just flipped my silly calendar over here again. I'm using these old-fashioned fill in the calendars with ink and write into them.
Same with me.
I didn't realize how small print you have to be to actually write on these calendars. My mom was really good at this growing up. I'd always see the calendar on the fridge, and I look at my writing, and boy, oh boy, I'm a terrible handwriter, and I can't fit very much in these sections of my calendar. But what I can do is I can fill it full of our next guest. So, like I said, anyone who reached out or anyone who received our reach outs today, over 20,000 people would have heard and noticed that we have Candace Bax Friesen coming up on September 12th. Again, she's another Royal LePage agent / coach. Keyword there, coach. And I'm really interested in hearing about her ideas on coaching, why and how she does it in the real estate business. Again, Michelle Goodridge, this is another fantastic person maybe we'll connect you with. And there's so many people on our network, but Michelle in particular, we just had her this week, like I say, and she works with women in the real estate business. This is a fantastic connection.
Why does Candace's name sound so familiar?
I'm not sure.
Maybe you have a lot of people mentioning her name on the show.
Maybe, but Candace Friesen, Candace Bax Friesen, she's from here, from our city, and she's from the same Royal LePage family, if you will. But yeah, she stood out, and she's part of our collective influencers in our network. So it's perfect. And then we have Crystal Radikash. Now, Crystal is part of our team, and she's one of our founding members, if you will, of our real estate team here locally in Winnipeg. And I can't wait to have Crystal. Crystal has been very supportive of us, and you're going to find out Crystal was heavily involved in the education side of things prior to becoming a realtor. She's only been a realtor for a short while now, for a relatively short amount of time. But her insight, and her vision is right in check with everything we've been talking about. And I'm really glad we had Chris on today, because all my guests seem to be females. I don't know why, but it seems to be that's the trend. So all you guys and business owners and anyone who really wants to come out and be showcased, hit us up. So we're going to get to that. How do they get hold of me? I'm Stephen for a reason. Realtor's Choice Products at gmail.com. 204-894-7477. You can always find us or contact us on our websites at realtorschoicenetwork.com, rcnexperts.com as well. Now, if you don't want to get hold of me, get hold of Michelle. Doing Well with Michelle at 559-612-2111. Meet with Michelle at vcsolutions360.com is a great way to get hold of her as well. I almost forgot, but I'm glad I didn't. Again, two women that we met with, I guess, last week now. All these shows are starting to get together. You know what? Did you realize, Michelle, that when we add one more show, that'll be the 12th. That'll be our 34th episode. And in the TV world, when you are planning and doing a series, that would have been almost 2 years worth of content, 34 shows, if you can believe it.
Oh, wow.
So we're getting better and better each time. Our guests are improving each time, and I'm loving our guests, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, we've been doing this for a long time, and I'm so grateful people are still tuning in, still asking to be part of the show. And these guests, Tiffany and Monica, we told you about them before. They have these incredible investment properties and homes built from scratch with the highest grade products and equipped with granite countertops and so many awesome components to a new home. They're right in that $260,000 range. Monica, who owns a real estate investing firm, is the one behind this, because Ocala, Florida is the home of over 30,000 jobs soon. They knew it. They've been planning on it. They've been building these incredible homes. And if anyone out there wants to get hold of us and wants to get connected with Monica and Tiffany, reach out to us. We'd love to connect you. We too see such value, one, in these properties, but we're so fond of our guests, both Tiffany and Monica, that these homes are something that you should really consider and take seriously if you are a real estate investor looking for an incredible opportunity. If my understanding is correct, I do believe there's 17 of these homes now, again, brand new, going on the market soon.
They're going to go fast.
Oh, are they ever going to go fast? And again, if you want us to connect you, it'd be our pleasure. Like I said, really, really fond of Monica and Tiffany. Love the homes. I love the fact that they're built with the best quality products and they're designed for hurricanes, Floridian weather. These houses aren't going anywhere. These are beautiful. Contact us at realtorschoiceproducts@gmail.com and we will connect you immediately for this one-of-a-kind opportunity. All right, Michelle, you got anything else to add before I shut her down for the day?
I just want to thank everybody for continuing to show up. I appreciate all of you. And hopefully the next time we meet on the next show, you bring someone with you.
Amazing. I want to thank again Chris Fenton for joining us today. Today is August the 7th, 2023. Thanks, George Tremis, again, for always being there with us.
Yes.
Can't wait to talk about your fireside chat coming up. That's a wrap. I'm Stephen for a reason. This is Doing Well with Michelle, and we are always building a better tomorrow today. Thanks, and bye-bye. Have a great day.
Bye.